Hey, what is up? What is going on? Arvind Ramakrishna here, and welcome back to Driven to Draw. Today, we're going to be talking about a very important subject, and this is about artistic block and what are the solutions for artistic block and how do you turn that around to improve your artistic ability. And so let us get started. This doesn't matter whether you are a professional or whether you are just a beginner, but these are certain things that you want to keep in mind as you are drawing. And one of the things that I've always struggled with, and I'm sure most of you can relate, is that as you start to develop a love for a certain subject, most of you know that I do love drawing transportation, design related stuff like cars or planes, trucks, things like that. But every once in a while we really struggle with this idea because oftentimes when you get into the habit of doing something all the time, it gets to a point where you sort of lose track of and your focus of what you're trying to do. And self-improvement in any kind of subject, it doesn't matter whether you are an artist or whether you are in any other kind of profession like engineering or whatever it is that you are really better off trying to learn as many things about that particular area as you can. So if you're an engineer, you try to further your skills as an engineer. You can go in and learn certain things about taking extra classes and in physics and that sort of thing, just to kind of keep in touch with the subject and make sure that you are learning new things. Maybe you're learning more about mechanisms or something. Maybe most of the stuff you were doing was static analysis and that sort of thing, and dynamics. And maybe you just want to learn something else within that subject range, or maybe you want to learn about plastics. These are all really good habits to form, because when you just do one thing all the time, your mind gets bored and things get dormant. And that's the same thing for drawing here, because as I start to draw cars all the time, you know what, I do get bored. And I also want to grow, and it's not because I want to be a professional in drawing other stuff. It's not because, hey, I want to be a concept designer that is working in the industry. It's not even about any of that. And the truth is, we don't delve into other things is because we're afraid. We're afraid of the failure. We're afraid of embarking on something new, and then with social media and posting things up, you're now very, very self-conscious of what you're posting and what people are going to say and how many likes you're going to get. And it's just, we lose track of what was the purpose in the first place. The purpose isn't to get likes. The purpose is for you to get practice, to further your own development, and to strive to better yourself. So here I am. If you remember the last video, I started sketching the snow trooper in celebration of the new Star Wars movie. And I wish I could tell you that, anyway, I won't say anything about the movie if you haven't seen it, but I had some reservations about it. But anyway, it didn't matter, because the main thing that I was trying to do when I started to work on or to get excited about Star Wars is to start drawing some Star Wars figures, or start some characters. And I'm not good at it. I look at all my older books that I've had that have inspired me to draw, and because I've been so centralized on automotive stuff, that I've forgotten to understand the feeling of what it's like to create again, or to do something different. Because as we grow older and we start to have busy lifestyles, you got some people now, especially myself, I have families, I have my son, I have my wife, and they all take up, you have to pay attention to them, you got to pay attention to the family, you can't just keep doing your own stuff. And so you get really in a routine where you're just doing the same thing over and over again. So if you're young and you don't have all that stuff, you really don't understand how great you have it, because you have a lot of time on your hands to experiment and to explore and do as many things as you want. And if you're retired, or if you're just trying to learn something new, it's an excellent avenue and a way for you to really channel that energy to focus on learning something new. and not really be worried about whether people are going to be judging your work or anything like that. You have to look at it as a purely self-improvement type of thing here. So the trick to not being bored when you are starting out, whether you're even looking at art as a hobby, is to challenge yourself and do something different. Do something you're not even comfortable with. Do something you're not even maybe interested in. It could be a subject matter that you don't like. Maybe you don't even like landscapes, or maybe you don't even like to draw fruit. But you know what? Sometimes those are essential, because when you keep an open mind and do some things that you don't like, that's where the magic happens. That's where you are able to leverage a different kind of mindset, or be able to think outside the box, because over time, after you start to gain that experience of doing something new, doing something different, drawing something completely out of your comfort zone, all that helps and matures your mind and your artistic process and your cognitive ability of being able to draw many different things and then leveraging them later. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and that this made a lot of sense for you. And if you're feeling bad and you're getting bored, I want you to understand that it's okay. It's okay to feel bad. It's okay to feel bored. And if you take on a different mindset of trying to learn something new, that's really going to be the way to tackle it. That's the kind of, that's my solution that I use. If you notice, I'm drawing many different things now on this channel. Is because, myself included, I'm subject to that problem. I'm nobody different. I'm not any better than you are. I mean, I struggle with the same thing. It's just on a different level. You may be at a beginner level, but as a professional, I've got struggles too, and I'm trying to figure out how do I deal with these struggles. And most of the time, they're all the same. They're no different. They're no different from anybody else. It's just on a different level. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and please come back and comment below. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you here next time on Driven to Draw. Have a good one, guys. If this is the first time you're coming to Driven to Draw, I would love it if you support this channel and subscribe, and we will see you next time here on Driven to Draw, on bringing your sketches to life. Have a good one.